Hey guys, it's Danny. Alrighty, today I'm gonna share with you a little thing that I did over the weekend. I got an idea with the Vanda seedlings. You cannot really tell, but up until now, they were sitting there on my shelf, receiving bright light, but taking up a lot of space. If you remember, I've potted the Vanda seedlings in very shallow pots. If you missed the video, I'll link it down below in the description. The pots are only used to offer a support for the Vandas to sit in, pretty much nothing else. It's not like I have a deep pot with medium that retains water. So if you will, it's pretty much the same thing as having them mounted. Only instead of the mount being vertical, it is horizontal. And also instead of sphagnum moss wrapped on the mount, I have microfiber. Other than that, the effect is pretty much the same. So with this idea of actually keeping seedlings mounted like this, I got another idea. What if I try to mount them on a space that is currently not used and save up all of the space on my shelf? And well, I came up with something, and as you can see, currently my Vanda seedlings are residing on my IKEA stand, mounted in a way. So let me show you how I did it. So first of all, these containers are really lightweight. If they were heavier, practically having heavier medium, this would not work, at least not in the way that I currently mounted them. However, being so lightweight, they only needed a little spot that could make the connection between the pot and my IKEA stand, and the connection doesn't really need to be all that strong. But gluing the pots to the IKEA stand is not okay either. What if I want to take the pot and flush it, or just take a look at my Vanda? So initially I thought I could use magnets since the IKEA stand is made of iron. However, magnets also attract the iron contained in the fertilizer, and that might not be optimal. So instead of magnets, I chose the next best thing. And this is velcro. It's actually a pretty strong connection. So let me show you how I did it. Basically, any home improvement store has velcro. And this is the item that I chose. This is a velcro with adhesive on both sides. There is another type of velcro that doesn't have adhesive, and that means you need to sew it to whatever surface you need to attach it to. In our case, this will not work, so be very careful what you choose, because I did make this mistake once. So these are the pieces of velcro. On one side they have the adhesive, and on the other the actual surface that will stick or actually connect. And as expected, one of the pieces will go on the IKEA stand and the other on the orchid pot. Next, I'm going to cut 4 pieces of velcro because that's how many pots I have left. I took into account the size of my pots and of my IKEA bars, and I came up with this size. Next, it's a good idea to clean the surface you want to stick the velcro to. The best way to do so is with alcohol, so that's what I will do next. And then the fun part of actually attaching the pots. Now you can do this in 2 ways. You can measure exactly where the velcro should be, but given that I have pretty tiny pots, measuring will be an overkill, so I actually just eyeballed it. So this is where I want my little pot to stay. I already have my velcro ready, and the middle of the pot is right here, so I'm just attaching the velcro. Next, I will attach the other side of the velcro to the middle of the pot, like so, and we're pretty much done. And now let's see if we did a good job. And presto, we have a new place to keep our Vanda seedlings. Now the velcro is actually a pretty strong material, and the adhesive is strong as well. As long as you make sure that the surface is clean, it shouldn't really come off. Probably you won't have to remove it every day or a few times a day, so I think it will last quite a bit of time. Also, even if the pot wobbles a little bit, it will definitely not fall. As you can see, it takes quite the effort to actually detach it. And putting it in place is super easy as well. Placing the next pots pretty much goes in the same way, just eyeballing where I should put the velcro on the IKEA stand, adding velcro to the bottom of the pots, and just finish up the entire row. I prefer to attach the pots one at a time because since I'm not measuring anything, my eyes can always miscalculate and end up with velcro somewhere where it doesn't even touch the velcro on the pot. But the procedure really doesn't take all that long, so doing one pot at a time is really not frustrating at all. And there we go, the entire row is done. It actually took me about 2 or 3 minutes, and there is no chance these orchids will fall from their places. Now this worked out pretty well for my vandas because they're very, very light. But what happens when we have an entire pot that is a little bit heavy? Well, I tested this out as well, and let me show you what I came up with. Now this is an idea that I'm not entirely sure if I will keep because I still have space, but I tried to attach a bigger piece of velcro to my IKEA stand, and the other part of the velcro I attached it to this pot. Now the pot inside contains leca and ceramis. It is pretty heavy. But by using a larger quantity of velcro, I can make it stable. So in theory, things actually work. And now it's very hard to remove this. My problem is it's not very aesthetically pleasing because my decorative pot is actually rounded, so as you can see the pot does not sit straight. However, as an idea, I think it works, and I think that in the future when I will eventually run out of space, I can do something with the rim of my shelves actually. Since I will be placing the velcro on the horizontal, not the vertical, like in this pot, things should be quite a lot straighter. I can also do something with the IKEA stand. I didn't really think about it just yet, but I'm having all sorts of ideas. So you can definitely use this idea as a source of inspiration. Now, mind you, if you're using other materials as medium, probably things will be a little better. What I'm using here is a very heavy pot. I have the pebble layer and all of those things, particularly when it's wet, it gets pretty heavy. But if you're working with bark or even sphagnum moss, your pots should not be this heavy. And I think you can totally mount orchids somewhere, anywhere, using Velcro. The easiest and safest way is to get yourself a decorative pot, preferably a plastic one because it is very light. Just in case you ever want to remove it, you're not actually going to destroy the orchid pot. Also, if you attach it to the orchid pot, you will have to remove it very often if you want to flush or go water at the sink. Whereas if you attach it to a decorative container, you can simply pull out the orchid, you can go water it or whatever you want to do to the orchid and then simply place it back without actually detaching the Velcro. But of course, you can be very inventive, and if this was helpful and you want to try it out, do let me know your ideas down below in the comment section so we can all get inspired. So that's pretty much what I was up to this weekend, among other things. I'm really happy I found a place for my Vanda seedlings. It was just so annoying for them to take up so much space on my shelf, and I could have gotten a small shelving unit, but that as well would have taken up space on my other shelf. And thankfully I do have a lot of orchids that I can place in that corner. So for now, I really don't have any reason to remove these from where they are very often, not even to water them. If flushes are necessary, then I can remove them. I'm not gonna stress out too much the adhesive because it's just not gonna happen often. And as a bonus, I do still have space on my IKEA stand for other ideas, if I have any. But I wouldn't really do this with the pots that have ceramis or that are very, very heavy because accidents happen. However, if you have a mount or very, very light pot, this works pretty great. So alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope this was inspiring or at least gave you some ideas to save up some space in your growing room. So if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe to my channel for regular orchids and plants videos, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that said, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye! However though, there is a spot on the IKEA stand which is a little bit more stable, and this is this angle right here. If I can place Velcro on the bottom and on one side, theoretically even a ceramis or heavy pot should stay pretty tight. And this being an idea that just occurred to me, I'm gonna go work on it.